Sade.
Hey, Sade, welcome to the show. And thank you for being with us today and for sharing your story. I mean, first of all, with everything that's happened over the past week, I want to ask you, how are you doing?
Honestly, I am very overwhelmed from everything that has happened. But my family has really been a big support to me, and they've been very comforting during this time.
That's great.
Well, we're glad that you did what you did, Sade. Can you take us to what happened? What happened that day from your perspective?
Okay, well, that prior Monday was my birthday, so I decided to go for a walk because it was nice out. So I was walking up the street, and I saw the young man walking ahead of me, and, I just kept walking. So he goes to the end of the street, and he turned around in the cul-de-sac, and he came back up. By the time that I went to the end of the street to turn around, he had come back, and he passed by this house that had a young girl in the yard holding a baby. And when he passed by her, she came out of the yard, and she starts speaking to him, and she says things like, "Hey, wait up, hold on, come here." So they start talking, and as I go back up the street and I pass the house, her mother-in-law was outside now, and she asked me, "Well, where's my daughter-in-law?" And I said, "Oh, well, she's over there talking to that young man." And she gets out of her yard, and she tells the daughter-in-law, "Hey, you need to go back in the house." And the mother-in-law is now saying things to the young man like, "Hey, you need to leave, you need to get out of here." And they were arguing, and they were blocking my way to get back to my house. So I kind of just backed away from it. And in that moment, it was just the heated argument until the mother-in-law goes to Jonathan's house, and she gets him, and Jonathan comes out, and he starts saying things to the young man as well, like, "Hey, you need to leave. I've never seen you around here before. You don't belong here." So in that moment, Jonathan had pushed the young man before I started recording, and that's what led me to take my phone out and film it.
First of all, Sade, the fact that you stayed so calm to catch this footage, for a while when I was watching all of this go down, I suddenly started to realize how much we were able to see and process because of your recording. So I want to compliment you so much, because in that moment, I don't know if anybody would remember to be able to just, stay calm and record it so that he could be properly processed and arrested. So thank you for that. What was going on through your mind in the moment as you were watching this all unfold?
Honestly,
I still don't understand what the fuck happened.
I was focused on making sure that the young man was protected, and I wanted to make sure that anything that Jonathan did was recorded. And I was also a bit scared for myself because I didn't know what Jonathan was going to do or what actions he would take towards me.
Well, Sade, following the incident, ABC News actually reported that protesters decided to show up outside of Sergeant Pentland's house to make their voices heard, as you can see right here. And now it's being reported that he even had to be relocated. So I'm curious, just what are your thoughts about all of this?
Well, as far as them pulling up, I was very shocked. I never expected that many people to come out to my neighborhood, but I was also... I felt very safe and protected when they did show up, because I was like, wow, this is beautiful to see all of these people that don't know each other coming together to support this young man. And they also let the world know that
God, if
we
she
will
says
not
young man
tolerate
one more
this.
time.
Amen to that. Sade, how has it been for you since you came forward as the woman who did the recorded the incident?
Made the recording.
It has been a very traumatic experience for me. There has been a lot of negative comments and criticism about how I could have and should have handled this situation. And someone even went as far as posting my personal information and my address on social media because I did the wrong thing. And I honestly felt like I did what I needed to do. I did the right thing in the situation.
You absolutely did. I'm sorry about that.
Sade, You didn't know either one of them. You didn't know the sergeant or the young man?
No, I
Okay,
didn't.
it's just
And
a
that's the whole
bystander.
point, is that there is a neighborhood and people don't necessarily know each other, so you can't
Yes.
assume because somebody's walking around that they don't belong there.
The
So,
freaking
Exactly.
eyelashes.
Exactly.
Sade, it's being reported that not only Sergeant Pentland has been arrested and charged, but that he's currently suspended from the military pending an investigation. So I'm curious, what do you think the outcome should be in terms of consequences for him?
I think that first and foremost, he should have to apologize to the young man for what he
Young
did.
man.
And I think on a scale, I would love to see, I would love that other races see that Black people all of us are not aggressive. All of us are not bad people.
right.
And back to Jonathan, I think that at the very least, he should have to do community service in one of our neighborhoods, or he should have to take anger management classes.
I love that.
Right.
Those are really great things. I would think the consequences would be for him. Sade, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your story. And please keep in touch and keep us updated. And just to note, for anyone who witnesses an incident like this and decides to record, please be careful, you guys. All right, we have to take a quick break, but there's more of The Real on the way right after this.